I'm vegan, but I'll eat meat. Sure.
Just like that, you have started World War III with vegans. Get ready for the slew of comments and response videos. Much like this video. As the title suggests, this is going to be a response video to Edward Generations. I believe that's what his YouTube channel name is. Yeah, this is a response to his video titled, "I am a vegan, but I could eat meat," in which he explains why he, as a vegan concerned mainly with food waste and environmental degradation, could sometimes eat animal products to avoid environmental degradation and the production of more food waste. As an ethical vegan myself, and as someone who wants to be a rational vegan, I have a few agreements and a few objections to some of the comments that he made in his video. Let's get into it.
I follow a vegan diet. No meat, no dairy, the works. However, more than anything, I follow a non-wasting lifestyle. I can't help it. I've always been the guy at the restaurant. I always have to take leftovers. Always. I can't let anything go to waste.
So immediately, Edward lets us know that his main concern with being a vegan is decreasing food waste, right? Which is a pretty noble cause. I think vegans should absolutely be concerned with environmental degradation as well as food wastage. Veganism is not mainly about food wastage. In fact, according to the Vegan Society, the goal of veganism is to reduce animal suffering as much as is reasonable and practicable. Yes, reducing food waste is a great way to help the environment, which will, by extension, reduce animal suffering. But being a vegan isn't about food waste. In fact, being a vegan isn't just about eating food. It's also about not exploiting animals in other ways, including entertainment as well as clothing.
What happens when their leftovers have meat in them? Dun dun dun!
What happens when friends or family are about to waste some kind of animal product, right? Should I let that animal product go to waste and harm the environment, which by extension harms other animals and humans? Or should I eat that product, which is not a vegan practice, and stop environmental degradation and stop the increase of food waste? Well, this isn't a dilemma, in my opinion, that vegans should have to face. Anytime that any meat eater is going to produce some kind of waste, or, if you go to a restaurant and you get 10 chicken wings and you can only eat 4 of them, all you have to do is save the other 6 and take it home and eat it later. So I don't understand what the real problem with this video is. Meat eaters can save their food for later until they're hungry and eat the food. You don't have to throw it out immediately if you can't eat it immediately.
That's my struggle, because that's still more food already purchased. Delicious, hot, spicy, crispy chicken wings.
Doing this as an act, but it's pretty funny, and it makes me wonder how long he's been vegan. Obviously, even if you're an ethical vegan, you might find yourself craving foods that you've eaten for the majority of your life. But regardless, those delicious, crispy, spicy chicken wings, they don't actually have to go to waste. All you have to do is tell your friend to store the food for later, and just like that, the food was not wasted.
So what am I supposed to do? Let those 2 chicken wings go to waste? Yeah, you're vegan, aren't you? Oh, are vegans okay with wasting food now? That's not very environmentally considerate, no, is it?
No, it is not environmentally friendly to waste food. Food waste is terrible for the environment, and globally it accounts for about 3.3 billion tons of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Food waste is also one of the leading causes of world hunger. We actually produce enough food to feed the world round, but this food often is wasted or fed to animals instead. And this is something that vegans should care about if they truly care about animals. They should be concerned with this.
One of the biggest reasons that vegans tend to use for going vegan is that it's good for the environment. Now, while it is practically common knowledge that veganism does help the environment immensely, it doesn't exactly help the environment to watch 2 perfectly good, still edible chicken wings go to waste, now does it? Nah.
Again, be careful not to strawman the vegan movement or the reason why people go vegan, and no, it would not be environmentally friendly. However, this isn't a vegan dilemma. Like I said before, all you have to do is save the chicken for the carcass to eat later, right? You don't have to eat the chicken yourself, or you could give it to a homeless person, as you mentioned later in the video.
The truth is, most of the time when people waste food, it's not like they waste a lot of it at a time. They just waste a small portion. I mean, think of the last time you went to a restaurant and you saw a server take a plate away from a table and it still had some food in it. That restaurant's not gonna give it out to charity. And even if they wanted to, it's a costly process, because then they'd have to repackage everything, pay for transport and everything, so you can't blame them for that. Plus, think about it. By not letting food go to waste, we save more food for when we're hungry, so we save more money. And we reduce methane emissions, so we save the environment.
You're right. And do you know what would save even more money and methane emissions from being released into the atmosphere? Not visiting restaurants. Like actual freegans. Now, I don't want to mischaracterize Edwin, but he does seem to be making quite a few reductionist, environmental reductionist claims. Edward does say a few things in this video that seemingly contradict his environmental harm reductionist viewpoint. Like the fact that he goes to restaurants, which are one of the largest contributors to food waste. 4% of food purchased by restaurants is wasted before it even reaches the consumer. Many of these drivers being the inflexibility of chain store management and even just limited space and limited ability to keep this food for a long period of time and expansive menus. In fact, a 2014 study by the Food Waste Reduction Alliance found that 84% of food in American restaurants ends up being disposed of, even before it goes bad. Only 14% is recycled and 1% is donated. And a single restaurant can produce 25,000 to 75,000 pounds of food waste in just 1 year. Yes, Edwin, eating your friend's chicken wings is a great way to reduce food waste, but it would be a lot more efficient of you to not visit the restaurant to begin with. Plus, you'd be saving a lot more money, which you clearly care about.
Save more food for when we're hungry, so we save more money.
Of course, this data is not representative of all American restaurants, just the majority of them, and I'm also not presenting this data to make Edwin look like a hypocrite. I'm just bringing this up as a reminder that if he truly cares about food waste and environmental harm reduction as much as he says he does, then he wouldn't be visiting restaurants to begin with.
You're a rule breaker. So you still don't consider me vegan because I don't fit your rules. That's right, some of us vegans have very strict rules, so you better check the ingredients. Jesus, you're difficult to work with.
I do agree that, throwing around insults and declaring that people are not true vegans and, deploying no true Scotsman fallacies, I do agree that this isn't helpful for the movement, it's not helpful for veganism, it's not helpful for the animals, and it isn't helpful for humans.
I'm not claiming to be morally superior to vegans, or anyone for that matter. I'm just saying why I still call myself a vegan despite eating food that's about to go to waste that sometimes isn't vegan.
But it was about to go to waste! What do you want me to do?
Great, then tell your meat-eating friends to save their chicken wings for later, or to not buy too much food at once.
Veganism is a way of living which seeks to exclude, as far as is possible and practicable, keywords, all forms of exploitation of and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, or any other purpose. If there's food that's about to go to waste, I don't believe it should go to waste despite it being vegan or not. So that's why I make the exception of the rule. That's why I consider myself a moral vegan, because it's against my morals to let food go to waste.
Again, by what rationale? Yes, I as a vegan will concede that eating animal products to avoid waste is an ethical decision. After all, you're not increasing demand and harm, and you are preventing this waste from destroying the environment, which will in turn negatively affect animals.
The other day, I ate 2 of my brother's chicken wings, and damn it, they were delicious. They were so good and crispy. Oh my god, I had not had chicken in so long. Oh, baby girl, the crispiness, the skin, the torture. No regrets. I was gonna go to waste.
Of course, this doesn't make any of the industry standard practices that these animals are subjected to any less cruel. I mean, these practices aren't just legal, but industry standard, like harmful practices such as debeaking and the removal of teeth and genitalia without anesthetics. And sure, other vegans, like Edwin, are more likely to rationalize the decision to eat this product because it would go to waste and cause more harm.
Oh, I get it. So you made this video to confess your vegan sin that you ate 2 chicken wings, but it was okay because they were gonna go to trash anyway. And people shouldn't guilt you over your dietary choice? Pretty much. That's a good message.
Edward, I think that you know that we know that this video is not just about eating animal products to avoid the increase in food waste. I mean, clearly that isn't the case because you're visiting restaurants, which produce lots and lots of food waste. I don't want to question your motivations, but I'm just really not sure if you are truly concerned with food waste or if this is just your way of justifying eating animal products. But I absolutely agree with you that vegans should prevent food waste, regardless of if it is animal products or plant products. So that's pretty much the end of this response. I think that there are a lot of vegans who are upset about this video, but for the wrong reasons. He really claims to care about the environment and about food waste, but he visits restaurants. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't seem consistent in my opinion. But if you disagree with me, I would like to hear why in the comments down below. And I keep saying this after the end of each video, but I am planning a collab video soon, and so get ready for that. Thanks, guys, so much for watching. And Edward, if you're watching, I don't want to call you a hypocrite or I don't mean to question your motivations. It just seems a bit inconsistent for me, so that's why I wanted to bring that up. And I could be wrong. So thanks, guys, for watching, and peace.